Today on Community Cooking, we have one of our favorite chefs back in the kitchen, Chef Lavia. He's showing us how he eats at home. We're making a seared fish over a tomato pan sauce and a roasted chicken with kale and Sunchoke Caesar salad. We're cooking with some of the best chefs from right here in our own community, so grab a seat and get comfortable. We have another great meal for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hi, and welcome to Community Cooking. I'm Maria Prekachis, and I'm so excited to always have this guy, Chef Lavia, in the house, as we like to say.
How are you?
I am great. I love it when you're here because we've become friends over the years.
Yes.
He's been on a few times.
Just a couple.
It's easy, it's always delicious, and you have just so much fun with food.
I love it. I mean, I love what I do. I love cooking, and it's fun to feed people.
All right, so first dish involves tomato and fish. Tell me about the ingredients.
So we have, it's a pan-seared. I like to get as many vegetables in the diet as possible. So a lot of times what I do is I make sauces out of vegetables. And I'll have a protein like a fish or a chicken or something like that. You know, your sauce is made from tomatoes, some garlic. If you have zucchini, put zucchini in there. It's really good. It's what I usually do. Sometimes it doesn't always look that great, or so just, you know, it's one of those things you can swap out. If you don't like zucchini, you can use yellow squash. If you don't like squash at all, you don't have to use anything, just a little more tomato. I'm
a big zoodler. So, and today we have a whitefish cod.
This is cod. You can pretty much use any firm white fish that's available to you. Sometimes they have them in the farmer's market, you know, a really nice like fishmonger guy there, and he'll have
it's what we call him.
He'll have you know, so whatever, just you want a firm white fish, something fairly mild, halibut, cod. You could even do tilapia, but once you kind of start going in tilapia, those have a little more flavor. They kind of have that minerally aspect to them. Yep. So I like the pretty standard firm white fish for this.
Okay, so that, tomatoes, little white wine, lemons, onions, garlic, little basil?
Yeah. And we're
not
good to
a lot
go.
of work. Okay, let's get going on this one.
Again, we're eating at home, so we like to make it quick. We don't like to spend all our time in the kitchen when we're not working. Still usually do, but.
Yeah, see, the kitchen's where I'm most at home, even if I'm making something simple.
Yeah.
Because growing up Greek, it was, everything's around food.
I'm Italian-Irish, so.
I will not comment.
I have a glass of wine and
and a huge meal.
Yeah. So we're just going to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan here. You can also use grapeseed oil.
You like grapeseed oil, and I have not tried it yet, so I'll have to try it.
You know, it has a nice smoking point. You can heat it up. It's just a nice alternative to olive oil if you don't have olive oil on hand.
Okay.
A lot of, you know, when we cook at home, it's what's there. Yeah. You know, I can write a recipe, and I might not have that in the fridge, so you just adapt, and that's really kind of cooking. I mean, when you're, again, don't take it seriously. It's fun. It shouldn't be stressful.
Well, that I used to go, I need every single thing on a recipe. Now, because of people like you, and especially you, I'm just like, okay, whatever's in there, throw it in.
Throw it together. Always taste as you go. Yeah. Don't wait till season at the end, because then it's just going to taste like salt. So every time you add something to your skillet, add a little salt, add a little pepper, and at the end, you're going to be just fine. So we're just going to season our cod here with some salt and pepper.
Okay.
If you like garlic salt, you could use garlic salt on here. If you like lemon pepper, you could use lemon pepper on here. Just gives you an extra little bit of flavor.
My word. Those tomatoes from the farmer's market. I'm tasting as we go, even before you start cooking.
And
they're so yummy.
I love the tomatoes at the farmer's market because they're always so fresh. And don't refrigerate your tomatoes.
See, that's where I go bad. I refrigerate, which is not good.
So we just, we should probably actually do, I like to season both sides.
Okay.
And these cook up pretty quick here, which is nice about fish.
I love cooking with fish because it's quick.
My mom hated cooking with fish because she always thought it would smell at the house. Fish and lamb.
Well, that's what we, hello, that's the Italian in you.
You know?
But no, it's funny because my mom made salmon one way, so I hated salmon until about, God bless her, but I don't like dill. And that's what she put on all her salmon. Yeah. And now there's a zillion ways to make it.
It is. Same thing. I still, you know, I have trouble with the lamb every now and then if it's, I can grill it, but I don't like it in the oven because then it really does kind of, I'm my mother's son like that.
So you want it pretty hot when you put it in so it sizzles.
Yes.
I'll take the dirty.
And it's just, while that's going, we start on our sauce.
All right. What? I have tomatoes. I'm getting the tomatoes. I leave you the stinky stuff.
I'll gladly handle that.
The onion and the garlic you get. So tomatoes, do we want them just in half? Do we want them in quarters?
Just in half is fine.
Okay. Look, he gave me a knife.
Over here.
Watch out.
And we're just going to do a little bit. Yeah, just cut them in half.
Any which way?
Any which way is fine.
I like to follow directions, or try to.
I start off with that intent, but it usually steers a little to the left.
Yeah, one for me, a couple for the recipe. Those are so good.
Yeah.
And these are not, they're all different colored tomatoes.
They're heirloom cherry tomatoes. You find them at the farmer's market. And I love the appearance of them.
Yeah.
They're so pretty, and they have that great color to them, and it just makes your food pretty.
I tell you, I get a batch of these and I just eat them like candy.
Yeah.
Now, I may like candy a little better, but my figure doesn't, so
You know what's really good too is if you just roast those and like throw them in the oven.
Just throw them in the oven as is.
And it intensifies that sweetness. I am a huge fan of roasting vegetables. It intensifies the flavor, it caramelizes them, it brings out their sweetness.
So I'll do Brussels sprouts and broccoli and what you would think of, but I've never done tomato. Just a little bit of olive oil?
Yeah, and just, not long, just kind of keep an eye on them, just to give them a little toast.
No, he's not beating up the garlic. It's the easiest way to get.
Typically, it's the easiest way. Sometimes they get a little more stuck than others. Like this one. This guy here is not wanting to cooperate.
Difficult. He's having a bad day.
He is.
So how many tomatoes? Do we want quite a bit?
You want about 2 cups, maybe just a few more.
All right.
Because they're going to really make the base of our sauce.
I've started doing that. Instead of putting all the sugary stuff or the pre-made sauce.
I'm just going to give our garlic a nice little chop here.
Yum, yum. How they eat at home.
This is how we eat at home, We try and watch it. Now, I'm not saying we eat like this every day. There's still plenty of fried chicken in our life.
Homemade fried chicken is the best. My brother makes his, it's not his famous ex-wife, it's his ex-wife's famous fried chicken.
That's a good way to put it.
Watch how you say that.
That's a good way to put it.
Oh, too funny.
So I'm going to flip our fish over here.
Okay.
We're just going to sear it because we're going to get the sauce going and add the fish back to the sauce and let the fish finish in the sauce.
Oh, okay.
And I love doing my fish like that because it infuses that seafood saltiness to the dish, and it just elevates it that much more. And just, you're always looking to add flavor to things. So any way you can do that, go ahead and do it.
Well, it's like if you're doing, a stew or something, or chili, you want it to sit in its juices more.
Exactly.
Longer.
Anytime you can do that, anytime you can let your flavors marry, anytime you can let things hang out and just chill and do their thing, you're always going to get a better dish.
Hang out and chill. Of course.
So we're just going to let that go for a couple minutes on that side.
There's an onion that I'm not touching.
Well, actually, the onion we're going to do a little bit later.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
In our dish. We have some basil here we got at the farmer's market. If you don't have dried basil, if you don't have fresh basil, you can use dried basil. Okay. I have a cabinet full of dried spices, and again, there's nothing wrong with that.
But you use them as a backup, I'm assuming.
I do, because it's, again, when we're home after a long day, I'm not going to run to the store for some basil. I'm really not. I like to think I am, but I'm not.
You're like, I love the farmer's market, but I'm tired, so forget about it.
So it's just one of those things that work out like that.
I just keep cutting the tomatoes because I keep eating them. They're so good. All right.
So we're going to go ahead and take this out here.
Okay. And then you keep the oil in for the sauce.
Yes. And we're just going to set these on a plate here. Go ahead and bring this over here.
Because it's, you can overcook fish easily. So you just
really
want
can.
to sear it.
I'm just going to sear it here.
So it just has a little color.
And you can already see it kind of start to flake. So we're going to add our, let's see here, we're going to add our white wine here. I believe it's garlic here. Let's do
garlic
first. Yeah.
And I'm not drinking this, so, I'm being good.
Now, if we had zucchini, we would add zucchini at this point.
Okay.
Or your squash, or really whatever vegetable you like, just kind of one of those softer ones.
Okay.
I wouldn't add a carrot to this. Or anything crunchy like that, but anything nice like a zucchini, a squash, anything along those lines will be good. and I just kind of add it. But again, it's one of those things where if the zucchini doesn't look great, like it didn't this time, I didn't get it, you know. Or if you don't have it at home.
And you're not going out after a hard day at the office?
Yeah.
Or a hard day cooking for everyone else?
So we got our garlic going here. We're going to add our white wine.
Oh, I'm all ready with the tomatoes.
And there we go with that. We're going to crank up the heat just a little bit so you get a nice simmer on that.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and take these tomatoes here from you.
Take my tomatoes, please. So easy. And that's
so
it.
easy. And this will make a really yummy sauce. I'll give that back to you.
Thank you.
And some salts dissolve quicker than others, so that's always something to be aware of. If I'm going to use sea salt, I get the fine grain sea salt instead of the larger ones because it takes forever to dissolve and you don't think that there's any salt in it. So you add more, and then by the time you're ready to to finish it, you're eating the ocean.
Now, see, I'm going to back up, though, because you said rock, and as a woman, we think of different things than salt.
Yes. You think of a little bling for your finger.
Yeah. You're like a rock. I'm like, really? Let me go on. Oh, wait.
How is that?
So funny. Oh, diamond. We like diamonds anywhere.
So we can let that hang out. We'll add our basil at the end.
Okay.
As soon as the tomatoes break down a little more, we'll add the fish, and that just kind of sits and does its thing.
And then about how long, after you get the tomatoes going, you add the fish? About how long do you let it cook?
Until your fish is done. I wish I had a better answer for you. Because fish is going to be different thicknesses.
Yes, that's true.
Some fish are going to cook up quicker. Some fish have more fat that need to be released. Like if you were going to do this with a salmon, which you could, you know, cherry and salmon and basil go great together. I like this with the white fish, but you can really use any firm fish you want. But salmon has to melt some of that fat out, which would actually probably be really good in the sauce now that I think about it.
Yeah. He's like, next show. Already clicking in his mind.
So this just, as soon as the tomatoes start to break down and our wine reduces, just by about half, then we'll add our fish back in. And believe it or not, the fish, if you want to speed up the process, you could just wrap this in foil because as it sits here, the fish will continue to bake, and that way it won't get overdone, doesn't have to sit as long in the sauce.
Okay. Well, we're doing it how you say. All right, well, while that gets all ready, we're going to add our fish. It's a good time for a quick break. When we come back,
Sunchokes.
Sunchokes. I have never worked with them.
My new favorite vegetable. I was afraid of them for the first, I won't say how many years of my life. I don't want to date myself, but you know, they are my new favorite vegetable.
Chicken Caesar salad.
With sunchokes.
With sunchokes.
It helps bulk up your salad and you get that texture. So it's a satisfying way to watch what you're eating. They're low carb, they're low calorie, they're high fiber.
Healthy-ish.
Artichoke meets potato.
Okay.
Artichoke heart meets potato.
Well, I can't wait. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're watching Community Cooking.
Planning a dinner party? Figure out how much food you need with the Guestimator at SaveTheFood.com.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I have my good friend, personal chef, caterer extraordinaire, Jeff Lavia. How's that for an intro?
It gets better every time.
I know. So we just did a great fish dish with a tomato sauce, pan tomato sauce. We're moving on to a chicken Caesar.
Bok bok.
Bok bok! With sunchoke.
Sunchoke, my new all-time favorite vegetable.
My first time ever hearing about it.
And it will be your new all-time favorite vegetable.
Well, it looks like ginger. It does not smell like ginger.
It has nothing to do with ginger.
Yeah.
It's a root vegetable. Grows in the ground like a potato, a carrot. Some people say it tastes like a potato. It has a texture of a potato. To me, it tastes like a potato and an artichoke heart combined. It has that sweetness. It's seriously you can't eat them raw. You can pickle them. You can roast them.
That was so dainty, I know. That is yummy.
It is. They're low calorie. They're high fiber. And if you're going to have a Caesar salad and you don't want, a lot of times what we'll do, if we don't have protein, we'll do cauliflower and sunchokes because it's very meaty.
Yeah, look at me. Oh, so there I was. Okay, first things first. Let's go over all the ingredients.
So we have our chicken. We have some onions here that I put on. I always like to roast my chicken on some onions. Just flavors the chicken. I flatten the chicken actually so that you can get seasoning on both sides, and it just cooks quicker. easier to take the temperature when it's done, easier to carve. I love it. I'll
Well,
show
and
you
in
how
half
to do that.
especially. And then we have some romaine and some kale.
Some kale. We have our sunchokes.
Our sunchokes that I've already started on.
We have our, since this is healthy-ish, we are doing Parmesan crisps instead of croutons. Like I said,
these I'll just take a whole bag home.
Yeah.
You make them so good.
we like to watch our gluten intake when we're not, having burgers and things like that. So these are actually gluten-free. Just a tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese, on a sheet pan with some parchment paper. You throw them in the oven sometimes I'll cook them at 350. I threw them in the same oven as I did the chicken. Just if it's going to be a higher temperature, just lower your cooking time.
Okay.
And just keep an eye on them. And they cook up like a cracker. You can see when they're done.
So good.
And they're great in a salad because it's your crouton without the gluten.
I love so many people are gluten-free right
Yeah.
now too. And then the Caesar dressing.
It's Caesar. This is a Caesar dressing.
I like Caesar dressing.
Because we're using the kale and the sunchoke, I add a little bit of sesame oil and honey to my typical Caesar dressing, which is I just do mayonnaise. I don't do the egg yolk. I'm always a little hesitant to serve people raw egg, even in a salad dressing. It always makes me a little nervous.
No, I gotcha.
It's probably the food geek in me that I don't want to make people sick.
Which is a good thing if you're a caterer. Just saying.
Yes, it does help the reputation. So this is just some mayonnaise, about 4 anchovies, 3 cloves of garlic, some lemon, a little bit of vinegary hot sauce, not like a taco hot sauce, but more of a vinegary-based hot sauce, a southern one. A little bit of Worcestershire, and that's pretty much it. And then the honey and the sesame oil, which took it away from its Caesar to more of a Caesar.
I like it.
And it balances out the nuttiness of the sunchokes and the bitterness of the kale. That's why we add the honey and the sesame oil.
Okay. It's so simple. And, okay, you
Bok
said
bok.
chicken.
Chicken. Super easy to do. I was intimidated this for the longest time. So what you want to do is you have your breasts, you have your legs, you have your thighs on the bottom. So just flip this bad boy over like this, and you're going to expose the backbone.
Okay.
Good pair of kitchen shears, or it's almost as in value.
Not the kind, not the scissors you use when you're doing arts and crafts.
No, you definitely want child-proof scissors here. You want a good sharp scissor, almost like a knife. And a good pair of kitchen shears will act as, I use this as much as a knife does, I really do.
And for me, it's a little safer.
Yeah.
Instead of taking a knife and trying to...
And again, with something like this, I've seen chefs do it with a knife and this, that, and the other thing, but usually when we're cooking at home, I have a little bit of wine. And, scissors are much safer than wine. So we're just gonna down each side of the backbone, and you'll hear
Sorry, Mr. Chicken. Ow.
You'll hear the bones crack here.
Yeah.
And you just kind of feel your way down here.
But like you said, it keeps the cooking time shorter.
And you can season both sides. So you see you already opened one side, and you can feel over here where the other side of the backbone is.
Oh, so you do it on both sides. Okay, gotcha.
And then don't throw your backbone away. I have a bag full of backbones in the freezer.
There's a joke there somewhere, but I'm not going there.
And look how easy that is.
Oh, that's... And what would you use the backbone for?
Soup. Chicken stock. Once I get, a few of them, I'll make a big thing of chicken stock and just freeze it. I'm just going to toss this in the trash here, since I don't have my handy-dandy plastic bags. And then you have your chicken. So what you want to do is basically break the breastbone. Some people will use a knife on the other side. I find it just as easy to just kind of
break it.
Yeah, and you hear it there. There you go. Use your palms, give it a little bit of weight.
Get a little workouting going.
And you have a flattened chicken. You can throw this on the grill. You can throw it in the oven. I love doing my chicken like this.
And we actually have one in the oven that I'm going to grab.
So you just season both sides with olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then what I like to do when I'm roasting this chicken, and again, you shouldn't, if you weren't going to cook these lemons, I would not cut this on a board where I did raw chicken, but these lemons are going to be cooked. I love roasted or grilled lemons. It is my new favorite thing.
Lemons, but I've never roasted or grilled them.
So these are going to go just like so. And I would season this with olive oil, salt, and pepper on both sides and throw it in an oven, 400, 425 for about an hour.
He's a heavy guy.
Until it reaches 165 degrees in the breast and in the thigh and in the legs.
And then it comes out looking like this, which is so beautiful. And the smell.
I'm gonna go ahead and get this
With
cutting
the
board
lemon.
out of here.
Look at that. Yeah, and like you said, it took half the time. Now, do you want the chicken? What do you want next?
We can just set that over here
Okay, here, I'll
and
give you
move
the
on to our
pot holders.
sunchokes.
Yeah, the sunchoke. The thing, I'm gonna put,
So you can squeeze this lemon over the chicken and it intensifies the sweetness of it. It's so good. Grill your lemons, roast your lemons. It's delicious.
so the sunchoke, all you. I already took a bite of it.
So again, it's a root vegetable. You can do anything that you want with this that you would normally do with a root vegetable. You can mash it, puree it.
Do you have to cook it though? If
Some
you mash
people
it
eat them
and puree it?
raw.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of it raw. I like my
I
veg.
obviously am.
But you just cut this into bite. Wash them off real good because they grow in the
Okay.
dirt like a potato. You don't have to peel them. I like them about bite-sized pieces or even whole. If I'm not going to do a protein, I like them whole because I feel like I'm getting something meaty.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of just tricking your brain into something here. So just toss these with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and throw them in the oven. They take about anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes, depending on how big the sunchokes are and how small you cut them. I just throw them in at the same time as I do my chicken.
Which
and
we
just keep
have
an
in the
eye on
oven.
it.
I have my mitts on again. I just like, you know, you do the work, I get the things out of the oven. Just the show, just the
Look
show
at that.
gal here.
And there you go. We have our sunchokes. You can throw these on the barbecue. They're so good.
They smell good. So just,
It's like the artichoke heart without all the work of getting to the artichoke heart.
which is work. I do love artichokes,
No,
but
it is work.
it's work, man.
Sometimes you don't want all that. You just want, I did clean my knife off here, so we're not
Yeah.
cross-contaminating anything here. And you just, you know, cut them in half. And here, try one of these guys in here.
I'm just going in. Oh, they really soften up. That's
Yeah.
hot. I'm gonna wait a second.
But they're really yummy. I mean, these will, they're probably a little hot. But once they cook,
I would eat it raw or cooked.
Yeah, they're so good. That with some cauliflower.
Okay, that is my new favorite veggie.
Thank you.
He always introduces me to everything great. That is yummy.
It is. It's just they're
So-
my new favorite.
And then how do you put it all together? You cut up the chicken, you cut up the sunchokes.
Well, what I like to do is, this is a great meal to entertain with if you're having, I mean, a chicken can feed up to 8 people. You can cut that into 8 pieces. We had a friend over for dinner the other night, and 3 of us went through a chicken.
Well, funny thing.
So again,
how do you
since
put it together?
we're going to have company over tonight.
I was going
here.
to say that's for me then, that plate.
Yes. So what I like to do when when we have company over, I like to do something really nice in presentation. If you're going to have,
Well, duh, it's you.
if you're going to entertain, start with intent. The intent to show people that you care. The intent to show people that you love them. The intent to show people that you want
Even if you don't.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, I don't think you want to have them over.
Yeah, that's true. Only have people over that
Why,
you
why
like.
waste your time, right? Life's too short.
Oh.
So we'll just set that aside for now,
Okay.
and we'll go ahead and assemble our Caesar salad.
Okay.
So again, if you don't like kale, don't use kale.
I
If you
actually
like
like
kale
kale.
and you don't
Yeah.
like romaine, use all kale. It's really whatever you like. Recipes are just a starting point to give you an idea and a shopping list.
Yeah, that I used to forget my shopping list, but now when it's on my phone, I can't really use that excuse anymore.
So this is all rinsed and drained and dry.
Yes,
and
you do want to.
happy lettuce, really happy lettuce.
I never knew there was such a thing, but coming from you, I could see it. Okay, seriously though.
I'm telling you, they are delicious. So we're going to add a little bit of our Caesar dressing here. And again, you just take all the ingredients of this and throw it in a food processor or blender, and you're good to go. I know we talked about overdressed salads, so I'll go light on this here.
Okay. And I want you to get tossing, and then we'll go to a quick break.
Why don't you go ahead and toss this, and I'll start on the chicken.
I can toss. He gives me the, the hard things to do.
So let's go ahead and lift this guy out. And you don't.
Sunchoke, first time I heard of it. Not the last time eating them.
Okay, so this guy is good to go. I'm just going to cut this into a few different pieces here. We got our legs. And
There's a song about that. I'm like, wait.
And I mean, look how quickly this falls apart too. And you get all the flavor. You don't have to throw that away. You can save that for some soup. And We'll just take the breast meat off the bone here. I know you like some breast meat.
I
here.
do. I like my white meat.
So I could, you can, depending on your crowd, you can divide this breast into 2 pieces or just leave it whole.
Okay.
I'm going to take it off the bone here. It doesn't want to. It's really hot.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's smoking hot.
There we go. We're going to take the
But I
wing
still ate
off.
my very hot Sunchoke because it was so good. Burned a little going down, but no, it was so yummy.
And we'll take that off there as soon as it cools a little bit. And I'm just going to cut this in half here. Careful not to lose the skin.
I know.
The skin's the best part,
It is.
especially when it's good and seasoned, and it really does have a nice flavor to it. We're going to take this little guy out here.
So we're chopping it up.
We're gonna, 1, 2, I'll leave the legs whole.
Okay.
That's just kind of a nice, fun presentation since it's just me and you. If I were having a large group, I would separate them just so you can stretch your chicken a little further.
You guys bring way more than enough. So I know when I come do shows with you, I need to come hungry.
And we're just going to kind of follow the breastbone down here.
Well, you're going to cut that up. We're going to plate everything up and come back, and my favorite part, tasting. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Community Cooking.
You can learn how to eat smarter, plan better, and save more at every step of meal prep. When you finish every bite, you save. Start prepping with Meal Prep Mate at SaveTheFood.com.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. Jeff, you plated it all up. Okay, this Caesar salad is the best looking Caesar I've ever seen. And I don't know what you're eating, but so you cut up the chicken.
Cut up the chicken. Again, if you're having more people, you can separate the drumstick from the thigh.
My new favorite, the Sunchoke. I'm getting a little bit of everything so I can taste it all. And then you can just take a piece of chicken.
I'll go ahead and
I'll let you share with me,
Thank
I
you.
guess. Good heavens.
get some of this, a little bit of salad.
What, salad? Is there salad in there? But it's so beautiful.
It's healthy-ish.
It's healthy-ish. All right. That dressing is so yummy.
The Caesar?
The Caesar dressing, it's different enough that it's not overpowering and it lets the flavor of the chicken come through. And of course, Parmesan crisps, they are my favorite. All right, now I have to dig into the fish.
And it makes its own little sauce.
I know, look at
If
that.
you were serving this with some rice, that sauce is perfect over the rice, or
Fish down, there we go. The tomatoes even get
that was
sweeter.
a very quiet set for a minute.
I know. What? Maria's on set and it's quiet. The flavor with the tomatoes, that get a little sweeter. And the fish, because it's not, the cod is perfect. It's not fishy at all.
Exactly.
Just add, oh my word.
It adds a little dimension. Cooking the fish in there adds a little dimension to the sauce.
Let me just be honest, it just adds flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, fancy pantsy on me, fancy pants to mention, but oh my gosh, both are so good. How you guys eat at home? Healthy-ish.
Healthy-ish.
I love it. Well, again, thank you so much for coming in, and thank you for introducing me to the Sunchoke. I swear to goodness,
It will be your new favorite vegetable.
It is. I will think of you every time I roast some. It is better roasted than raw.
Yes.
So yeah, we love having you here.
Love being here.
Thanks so much. On behalf of Jeff and our entire crew, thanks for watching. And remember, we really do have some of the best chefs right here in our own community. And we'll see you next time on Community Cooking. I'm going for more Sunchoke.
For fish.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. rain, or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/TorranceCitiCABLE and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.